Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you are watching Shelf Love with Dee. Hey girl, hey. Today's video is going to be a quick little fun one. I've been getting the question quite often here lately about how to get into reading if you're not already a reader, or how to get back into reading if you've had a love for it, but over time, life has taken the place of that. So I thought it would be cool little time to have a chit chat and talk about how you can get back into reading if you were once passionate about it, or if it's something that you would like to get into and just don't know where to start. Let's get into it. All right, so this is in no particular order. I just took a moment to think about how I got back into reading after years of not reading. I've always been someone who loves reading. I mean, as far back as I can remember, in first grade, one of my favorite parts of the day was story time. I remember loving Amelia Bedelia and Junie B. Jones, and I want to say about sixth grade is when I really got into reading on my own. But I always, in elementary, checked out the Arthur books and, like I said, Junie B. Jones, Amelia Bedelia, and things like that. So I've always loved reading, but if you don't know, I'm a mom of 5, so having kids, life, working full time at the time kind of made it hard to get reading in because you're constantly on the go. You're reading with your kids, studying with your kids, things like that. So it's kind of hard. And also we're in the day of social media. So I would say one of the main things that I push is to put the phone down. We have become so attached to our phones, rightfully so, because they're everything. They're our planner, they're our reminder, they are how we pay our bills, they're how we connect to the world. We can literally do everything on our phones, but they are also one of the biggest distractions, I feel, when you're trying to get into reading. So I say put the phone down. When I first got back into reading, I literally put it in the other room because it's so tempting to pick it up and just mindlessly, aimlessly start scrolling or clicking on apps, just because your fingers that has that muscle memory and it's so used to picking up that phone and doing whatever with it. So put the phone down. If you have to, put it into the other room. Have your kids hold it for you, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, hold it for you while you take that time to be intentional about reading. Next thing would be start short. I would not get back into reading by long books. I would kind of do a short one, something that you're interested in, whether it's romance, historical fiction, magical realism, whatever the book is that you're going to start with. I would start with one that's short. You don't want to get into a reading slump before you actually get started reading. So start with a short book that has short chapters and is in a genre that truly interests you. The next one would be, if you're already a reader and you've just fallen off, reread a book that excited you, that moved you, that made you feel something. Reread a book that you remember, like, dang, that was a good book, and you wanted to tell everybody about it and recommend to them. Even though you know how it ends, or you may have forgotten some details, you may know this, just like when you rewatch a movie or a series. You're like, dang, I missed that the first time around. But now that you're older and you can understand things better as well, you may pick up things, messages, or even things that happened in the plot that you didn't notice the first time around. But you already know, I like this book. I've read it before, so it will be easier to kind of get that reading wheel spinning within you, reading something that you know is a good book versus going in blindly and hoping that you like that book. So I would recommend rereading a book that you have read in the past that you really enjoyed. Set a timer. When I was talking to my mom about this, because she has always had a love for reading and is part of what got me into reading, set a timer. Start with 10 to 15 minutes. If that seems long, start with 5, but I would recommend a 10 to 15 minute timer. Set that timer, put the phone away, and read for 10 to 15 minutes straight. If you don't want to set a timer, say, I'm going to read 1 chapter today. Don't set the goal so high, because this is a muscle that you're having to strengthen. You have to get back into it, even if it's something that you were once passionate about. But especially if you're new to reading, You don't want to overdo it. So start with, I'm going to read one chapter today. I'm going to read for 10 to 15 minutes a day. So however many chapters you get in that time frame, set the goal realistic. Set a realistic goal that's easy for you to accomplish, and you're going to feel good. Trust me. I started with 15 minutes, and when I read for 15 minutes, I felt like, hey, look at me. I did it. I accomplished a goal. So don't set the bar too high when you're first starting out. Be open to a new you. I love romance. I've always loved romance. If you know me, you know I am big on romance in my personal life. From way younger me, I've always loved romance books, romance movies. As I've gotten older and I'm getting back into reading, I'm noticing I love historical fiction more. I'm getting into thrillers and mysteries. And romance is still there. It'll always be a love. But I can't just read romance back to back to back like I used to be able to. So be open to that as well. You don't want to go in, digging your heels in. All I like to read is romance, or all I like to read is thrillers. Be open to new genres as you explore this new you. The same Derica that I like to read in middle school or in my late teens or early 20s is not the same Derica at 36. Like I said, now I am loving historical fiction. I've always liked history in school, but I never really read historical fiction in my personal time. And now it is one of my top genres. I would say probably over romance. It would probably be historical fiction and then romance. So be open to a new you, be open to new genres. And if you don't like it, this is something I've learned. Don't be afraid to DNF a book. If you are not enjoying the genre, if you're not enjoying the plot, the story is not reeling you in after about 3 attempts, move on to it, especially when you are getting back into reading. Like I said before, you don't want to fall into a slump before you even get started. So do not be afraid to say, this is not for me, and move on to the next book. There's so many books out there. We don't have to feel bad about not finishing a book that's just not meant for us. And again, I'm speaking to myself. That is something I had to learn as well. The next one would be to be open to reading not just physical books, but like ebooks or audio books, or all the above. I used to be one that's like, oh, I love the feel of the pages, the smell of the books, the smell of the library, which I do. I love that smell. I love an old book smell. I love the library. I love feeling those pages in my hand. But as a mom of 5, I had to adjust. I had to be flexible. If I want to get back into reading, I can't be so firm and like, I only want to read physical books, because it was hard to read. It was hard to get that time in between running the practices and cooking and cleaning and working and all those things. So audiobooks for me is what helped me, I want to say early last year, get back into reading, because I could pop them in on the way to work, on the way to practice, while I'm at practice, while I'm cooking or cleaning, pop the earbud in and listen. I will say that a narrator can make or break a book. I just read a book that I'm not sure if I didn't like it because of the narrator or because it just wasn't a story that I enjoyed. Now, as I've kind of sat on it, I think it's a combination of the two, but a narrator can make or break a book. So if you're listening to a book and you're not feeling it, just go ahead and soft DNF that book. Come back to it later when you can get to it on the physical read, because a narrator can turn you off and have you thinking that you didn't like a book when really you just didn't like the voice that they picked for the character, or how they read the book in general. I would say whenever you are going to read, be intentional from start to finish. If you feel like you're going to want a snack, bring it into the room where you're going to be reading at, preferably in a room with no TV on. Leave your phone in another room. Set that timer and be intentional about reading. This is my reading time. Let your family know, hey, I'm going to go read for 10 minutes. I'm going to go read for 15 minutes. It's not going to hurt them, and I promise you, if my family of 5 can do without me for 10 to 15 minutes, they can do without you for 10 to 15 minutes to do something that you enjoy doing. All right, before I sign off here today, I wanted to let y'all know we have made it to 82 subscribers. My channel has just really gained some momentum this past week, and I'm so appreciative to each and every one of you that has just joined the gang. And as I stated before, when I made it to 75 subscribers, that I wanted to do a giveaway. So if you are interested in entering the giveaway, I ask that you leave your favorite emoji down in the comment section, and whoever leaves their favorite emoji in the comment will be entered into a drawing to win Miss Renee Swindler's book, Francine's Spectacular Crash and Burn. She will be giving a signed copy to the winner of the giveaway. So if you're interested in the giveaway, please leave your favorite emoji down in the comment section, and then the winner will be announced on the next video that I drop. So hopefully by next week, you guys will know who the winner is. Again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the comments, the sharing. I just truly appreciate your support, and I look forward to building a community with you where we can talk books like no one else understands our love for books but us. So I'm so grateful to be building a community over here. If you ever want to talk about a book just randomly, hit me up in my comment section or on the community post, and we can talk about whatever book you're reading. It doesn't even have to be a book that I am currently reading. I'm always down for buddy reads as well. So again, thank each and every one of you for supporting my channel, and I look forward to building with you guys even more. So I think that about wraps it up. Like I said, reading is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun. It's a hobby and it's a passion. And if you're new to reading, hopefully it becomes a passion for you. But let's set realistic goals so we don't set ourselves up for failure before we even get started. If you have any questions for me, any recommendations of content that you would like for me to see, any books that you would like for me to read and review, feel free to leave that information down in the comment section. This is all I have for you. That is it. That is all for today's video. Have a great rest of the weekend, and don't forget to show yourself some love today.